All right. I don't know what this setup looks like, guys. And I dressed up for you guys today, so hell yeah. I don't know about that light back there, but I really don't feel like getting up and changing it. Hello, guys. Welcome back to another episode of Lonely But Love the Pod. I am your host, Deja, and we are back. She said, that was good, bitch. Actually, you know what? I'm done saying that. I do know what I'm doing here. I'm here to make a difference. I want to create a safe space for anyone who feels like they're starting over. If you're like me and you're about to enter your 30s and you have no idea what you're doing, this is the podcast for you. We're figuring it out together, babe. Hold on, let me get a sip. Let me get a sip going on my coffee. Can y'all hear that? Oh my God. Delicious. Duh freaking licious. Oh, hi you guys. We are back with another freaking episode. I think this is episode 5? I think. Let me see. You guys, there's a lot going on in my brain. I can't keep up with how many episodes I put out already. They're not even that many and I'm already, you know? I don't want to know. Oh yeah. This is episode 5, you guys. I am literally so excited. I say that every episode, but I'm excited because 1, I love to yap. 2, I love a good solo ep. Like I'm that consumer that will watch a podcast where it's just one person talking. Like anything goes. Emma Chamberlain, that's my shit. Like my girl just be, and that's what we're going to do here today is, you feel me? I had this idea the other day where I was like, okay, I just want to sit in front of the camera. I want a closer angle and I want to just talk about 2025. And it's been glim already. We're only 27 days in and it's already dark days. Not me personally, like emotionally. Emotionally, physically, I feel great. I feel more aligned than I have ever felt. And it feels weird to say that because that's never been the case for me. Or it hasn't been in a very long time. So we're just rolling with the punches. But anyways, long story short, this year, the climate of the world has been a little glim. There's been some dark days. There's been some natural disasters. It's been a mess, you guys. And here on today's episode, we are going to not talk about those bad things. I was going to go on a rant and talk crazy about some bad things, but I just don't have it in me anymore. Like I filmed 2 episodes yesterday. One of those episodes I got into it with one of my cousins, like not bad, but we got into like the climate of the world, political things like that. And I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that on this podcast like every single episode. Of course, I'm coming on this podcast and talking about things that I'm passionate about. And one thing I am passionate about is what's going on in the world. And I like to stay informed with the proper information. So I will touch on things here and there, especially when things get as bad as they're getting. But here today, we're not here to do that today. We are here to talk about 2025, what's in and what the fuck is out. Y'all have seen the videos and I'm just adding to the Rolodex. I'm just adding to the Rolodex of videos that you can just watch, okay? Because I need to go over this. There are some things that I feel really passionate about on this list and I want to get into it, you guys. We're going to get a little funny. So stick around and just hear me rant about these things because I feel like there are some really good things on this list. And we're starting off strong, you guys. We're starting off strong. We're still going to do what we've been loving because duh, we're going to do it every episode. So starting off with music right off the top, Bad Bunny's album. Bad Bunny's album, you guys, I've been listening to it nonstop. I don't even know what he's saying, you guys. I don't speak Spanish. That's just something I don't do. I'm not bilingual. I'm not blessed in that nature. I'm on Duolingo, but I don't take that shit too seriously. I probably should, but I haven't been taking it seriously. I hope you guys can't see the ring light in my glasses because that's so annoying. Okay, you guys. Sorry, we're back. I had to start over. I didn't like the lighting. You could see the ring light. You know, I'm slowly becoming a perfectionist with this filming shit, and I'm grateful for that, but these are the times where I'm just like, bitch, just pull the camera out and record. Like, you're doing way too much. Back to what we've been loving. Top of the list, Bad Bunny's album. Here comes Princess tiptoeing. Hey, mommy. Hi. I love you. She's so sweet. She just like sits in her kennel all day, sleeps outside. But anyways, Bad Bunny's album. I love it so much. I love the message behind it. I think we all should be taking more photos. I think we all should be more grateful for what we have, who we have, where we're from, unless it's America. Kidding. Okay, I said I wasn't going to get into the thick of things, and I'm not going to, so someone please reel my ass in. But I just love everything about this album. The little movie he dropped with it was so good. I think it spoke to so many people. It even spoke to me, and girl, like I said, I don't speak Spanish. These songs are so good. I sent my friend, I was like, these are the songs I downloaded. She was like, bitch, that's almost every single one. I was like, yeah, I liked almost every single one. Bada bing, bada boom. Been loving Bad Bunny. I've always liked Bad Bunny. I'm not like a diehard fan, but I do love his message behind things. I love the love that he has for his culture. I love that he stands up for his people. I love that he's for the people. And I'm just here for him. I'm here for him. He fine as fuck. He a Pisces, twin in him. And I love him. Anyways, next, I've really been loving jazz music. I don't know why. I recently went, well, actually, no, I do know why. I recently went on a trip down south to Sarasota to go see one of my two good friends. And one of my friends, Carly, she had cows in a pasture like right next to her new townhome. And so we literally fed the cows, we pet them, we hung out with them 2 days in a row. And it was just incredible, but they loved jazz music. So I was playing jazz music. I can throw in a clip. I was playing jazz music for them and they were obsessed. Like they were just sitting there mesmerized, loving it. And like there were a few songs that like came on the shuffle and I added to my playlist, like my big playlist, and I've been obsessed with them. Like I've been obsessed with them. Two in particular that I've been listening to back to back. One is from Sarah Vaughan. It's called Swingin' Easy. So good. Another one is Ella Fitzgerald. It's called Get Happy. That shit fire. My girl was in her bag when she came out with that shit. And another one that I've really been liking is Dean Martin. Ain't that a kick in the head? That shit's a banger. I'm adding these to the playlist. Actually, I'm going to add them to the playlist right now so I don't forget, because I've been forgetting to update this weekly. So I'm really sorry, you guys. But if you go on Apple Music, I'll link it below. But if you go on Apple Music and look up What We've Been Loving podcast or What We've Been Loving playlist, it'll come up and you can see all the songs I've been adding on there. Doing it for me. Let me add some of Bad Bunny's songs on there. I'm not gonna add all of Bad Bunny's because I don't want to add the whole album. That's insane. I'm gonna do Nueva Yo. I'm gonna do Velda. I like that one. I don't know if I'm saying any of these right, but DTMF, of course. Okay. And I don't know how to say this. Ballet in Olovi. I don't know, but I'm adding that one too. So go to the link below. You'll see it linked below. You can check out the playlist. Sorry, I don't use Spotify. Don't come for me. I don't really care. What I've been loving, honestly, pop culture and the news, I have been hating right now, so I'm not even going to touch on that. But as far as products, you guys, I have been loving all things e.l.f. makeup. Everything that e.l.f. has, their little blush, their little halo, the whole Halo Glow line, obsessed with. The contour, the bronzer, the little sticks with the blush, 10 out of 10. Their eyebrow lift, my favorite. It's the only thing I use. I'm obsessed with e.l.f. I even use their concealer, their foundation. I love everything from them. e.l.f., if you see this, if this blows up, sponsor me, babe. Love you. Now, let's get into what's in and what's out in 2025. I'm going to start with what's in, and then we'll get into what's out. I'm going to keep this as positive as possible. So starting with the ins, and then I'm going to end with the outs because there's not that many and I don't want to be here for that long. Got shit to do. Anyways, starting with YouTube. Old YouTube is back. Old YouTube is in and it is back. I've been saying this for a few months now and it's starting to show. You guys, people are posting weekly, once a week, twice a week. We're seeing challenges. We're seeing pranks. We're seeing just regular vlogs, like normal people shit that people used to post back in the day is now coming back on YouTube. And I fear that it's going to eat harder than it ever has before. Like 2017, 2018 YouTube was good, but I feel like now people are also taking like a cinematic approach to everything. And I'm obsessed with that. Like I'm obsessed with quality content. I'm obsessed with normal people content as well, but I think people are craving good quality content that's longer form. I think we're all getting tired of like the short form content. I think we're all getting tired of like the 30-second videos. That's why like every app is going to a minute video, 3-minute videos. I know on TikTok now you can do like 10-minute videos. So I think we're all kind of leaning towards the long form content again, and it's bringing YouTube back. And I'm so excited because I have been a YouTube stan since the beginning of time. Like I don't watch TV. I watch YouTube. Like YouTube is my shit. And I'm glad it's coming back because a lot of my favorite creators have been posting more frequently. And one, I think it's to do with obviously the change of time and people, wanting longer form content, but I also think it has to do with the TikTok ban and the uncertainty of that. Like no one really knows if it's going to stay past these 90 days. So I think everyone's trying to like beef up all their other platforms in these 90 days. So if TikTok does 100% get banned, they'll have their audiences elsewhere, which is smart. But I think it's coming back and I think it's going to stay for good. And I'm excited. Going to the next one. Good movies. I literally wrote good like with 4 O's because good movies are coming back. You guys, we had a run, like a 3 or 4 year run where they were making shitty movies, like really shitty movies. And obviously COVID had something to do with that. The strike had something to do with that. There was a long pause where people weren't making shows or movies. And the people who were, girl, y'all should have motherfucking stopped. That shit was not cutting it. Anyways, babe, I think the good movies are back. I have seen, like last year is really when it started to click for me, especially like specifically scary movies and comedy movies. Like I think those 2 genres are coming back with a vengeance and they're coming back good. And I'm excited because I love the movies, you guys. The movies is one thing that I am obsessed with. I go by myself all the time. I love it. It's like such an activity for me and it's such like a treat for me. Like that's how I treat myself. One of the ways I treat myself, and during COVID, like it definitely got snatched from me. Like literally my favorite movie theater, they shut down. They were like, we're not bringing this back. It's back now, but during COVID, like 2020, 2021, it was shut down. It was gone. So I feel like now everyone's going to the movies more. Like we're seeing less and less streaming. I mean, people are obviously streaming, but things are hitting the theaters and they're hitting the theaters hard, babe. The shit that is even coming out just strictly on streaming platforms is really good. Anora, for example. There have just been such good movies, you guys, and I am so excited. And this is my opinion, and it's probably definitely an unpopular opinion with the streaming culture that we're in, but the movies is way better than streaming it at home, in my opinion. I'll spend the $30. I don't give a fuck, because that is such an experience for me. I'm obsessed. I'm obsessed. Moving on. Underground artists are back. Underground music artists are back. And they are back, you guys. They are in. They are in right now. Like, do you remember? This is going to be a very niche thing not even niche thing, but a very demographic thing I'm about to say. Do you guys remember when, oh God, and this is, well, I'm almost 30. Who gives a fuck? Do you guys remember when you would go on MySpace and find random artists, like, that were not popping off. They were not signed to a label. They were literally just throwing music on MySpace, and it was some of the best music you ever heard in your life, that you had to go to LimeWire, download it illegally, and then put it on your iPod. And those would be your playlists. Like, I feel like that type of artistry is coming back. And I feel like more artists are leaning towards doing things independent and not like saying fuck it to the recording labels and doing things their own way and just dropping mixtapes and just dropping albums and having fun with it. I see it coming back. And especially with social media, oh my God, it's so easy to find good artists because everyone's posting their shit. And I love it. I love it. I feel like it's literally, you guys, I feel like it's back in the day where people used to just post their music that they made in their fucking closet and that shit was banging. And now I feel like we're getting those artists back. Like I feel like we've already seen it with like Doechii, Lola Young, Sailor. Like I keep bringing these women up in a lot of these episodes because I'm obsessed with them right now, but also they're on the rise and they're doing it themselves. Like I just love it. I just love it so much. Like I'm obsessed. And music is probably my favorite. It is my favorite thing on the planet. And I just love underground artists. Like I love, and I don't care if this makes me a pick-me bitch. I don't give a fuck. I love being that person that's like, I found that artist when they only had 3 songs. and I put everyone else on. Like, I thrive off that energy, so I'm here for it. I am here for it. Moving on, another thing that's in, working for passion and not money. People are really starting to grasp the thought of like work-life balance and understand that like their passions and their mental health is way more important than their corporate job and their boss that doesn't give a fuck about them. And I'm so happy people are realizing this, because it's so prevalent in so many people's lives and so many people's day-to-days that they just like go to work and don't think about themselves anymore. But I think people are coming around to the fact that what they like is important, their passions are important, their family is more important than what's going on at work. And I honestly love that. Like, even in my demographic of friends, I'm finding that more people are looking to do more of their hobbies than focus on their day-to-day work, which I think is important, because girl, those companies don't care about you. They don't give a fuck about you. They literally can replace your ass tomorrow, and then what you gonna do? Exactly. Moving on, because I don't want to go on a tangent. This also, I guess, can go into that, but I think boundaries are in. Like, I think more people are starting to really cut out things and people in their lives that don't necessarily align with them. And I think for so long, humans haven't done that because they don't want to ruin relationships or burn any bridges or anything. But I think people are actually putting the happiness of themselves before other people, not in a negative way, not in a bad way. That's like, you don't care about other people, but I think making sure your cup is full before you fill other people's cup is in this year. I think it is, and I think people are taking that shit seriously, which is why I said it goes in with work-life balance, is because I feel like people are finding more of that balance and seeing how like people are working more on themselves and seeing how that helps. At least that's just what I've been seeing. There are obviously people out there who don't work on themselves, who just don't really care and who hurt anybody in their lives. But I feel like we're coming around. And this is probably just me being delusional and optimistic, but that's what I think. And that's what I feel. On to the next. I think reading more is definitely in. Last year, we definitely saw it with like Book Talk take off. Like, y'all, Book Talk even got a hold of me. Like, I started reading novels and fiction books and like sapphic novels, like crazy shit. I don't know why, but like Book Talk definitely got a hold of me, and I feel like it's gotten a hold of a lot of people. But I think people are going to take it more seriously now. I think people are going to start getting their library cards. I think people are going to start getting physical copies of books, because things are getting banned and there are ban lists out there. And so I think that is a priority that people are placing in front of digital copies of things. Like, yeah, the Kindle and things are big, but I think this year is going to be the year of physical copies, at least of books, because girl, it's getting crazy out there. And I think with reading more, people are going to take other types of literacy even more seriously, like financial literacy and things like that. Like, I think people are going to take those things more seriously and do their own research so that they're prepared. Because like I said, things are dark out there. Things are dark out there. And we don't want to do that. Speaking of like doing more research and being more curious about what's out there, I think a lot of people are going to shift towards being sober curious. Like, I think a lot of people are going to extend that dry January and see. Well, I don't know. There are some people who don't. They just do dry January, and it pisses me off because they do dry January and then the rest of the year they drink. It's like, what's the fucking point of that? That made no sense. But I feel like more as a society, especially Gen Z, like they are drinking less than any generation. And I think that's going to carry into the older generations, because even like me and a lot of my friends are like sober curious. We're California sober, where we just dabble in the gardening, but like we really don't drink anymore unless it's like an espresso martini after dinner. Or if we do go to dinner, we have like one drink while we're at dinner. It's nothing like insane. And I think a lot more people are leaning towards that way. Alcohol, you guys, is poison. And I have learned that the hard way. Like, I've seriously learned that the hard way. And I feel like other people have learned that the hard way. And it's like, it's not becoming fun to wake up hungover on the 1st anymore. Like, it's not fun to wake up hungover after your birthday. Like, those things just aren't fun anymore. I mean, for some people it is. And some people can like not have hangovers and have a great time. But there are other people who are just like, that is not a vibe. So I feel like being California sober is in 2025. I see the gardening community taking off. I see it really taking off. 2 more things. Second to last thing, I think finding new hobbies is in. I think pushing the envelope when it comes to doing physical activities instead of digital activities is going to be in 2025. Like I've been seeing a lot of the junk journaling, pottery classes, like very creative artistic things, but physical physical ideologies of those things. I don't even know if I use that right. What the fuck am I saying? But y'all get what I'm saying. I think doing more physical things is going to be in 2025 instead of doing things digitally. Obviously, people are still going to make content, movies, cinema, things like that. People are always going to do that. But I think getting back into the tangible touches of life is really going to be in 2025. I'm calling it now. I am calling it now. Okay, this was on my list, but it's not something that's going to be in. It's something that I'm going to push for it to be in. I think we should be doing this again, and I don't know why we stopped, but I think we need to be saying hashtag in our sentences when we're talking to people again. Like, I think we need to start doing this again. Like, remember the whole Justin Timberlake thing where he was like, hashtag, hashtag? I think we need to bring that back because I find myself doing that a lot, and I'm like, that's kind of fun. Like, hashtag you're a bitch. You know what I mean? Like, I think that is fun, cool, and quirky. You see what I'm saying? And I think we need to bring that back. So that's not what I think is going to be in. It's something that I know that's going to be in because I'm going to push for it so much in my regular life and on the internet. Feel what I'm saying? Catch my drift? Pick up what I'm putting down? Period. All right. Coffee break, and then we're going to do the outs. Okay, guys. With the outs, I'm starting off with these because I'm sick of seeing them. Barrel jeans. Barrel jeans have got to go. They were not cute when y'all first came out with them. They're still not cute. They need to be out. I see people moving away from the barrel jeans, sticking with a straight cut or like a little bit of a wide leg. You skinny bitches, you guys are always going to wear skinny jeans. I personally don't think skinny jeans are ever in, but do your thing. But the barrel jeans, gotta go. Get them the fuck out of here. Anyways, moving on to the next, people pleasing. People pleasing is not in, you guys. People pleasing is out. People pleasing is out. Do what the fuck you want to do. Do what the fuck you want to do. If you are not out there harming somebody or being abusive to somebody, please go and do whatever you want. No one cares. We're over it. Do what you want. Stop people pleasing. Stop worrying about what people have to think about you and get over it. Get over it. That is what's in 2025. Getting over it. Wrapping up. On to the next. Holding our tongues. This can kind of go into people pleasing, I guess, but holding our tongues is out in 2025. I think the people have had enough. I think this generation is done standing by and just talking about what's going to happen and see what's going to happen. No, I think this year is the year where we don't hold our tongues and we step forward with action and make this world a better place. Like, I think 2025 is going to be the place where we don't hold our tongues anymore. We don't hold our tongues in the classrooms. We don't hold our tongues with our parents. We don't hold our tongues with our friends, our family. We're not holding our tongues anymore. Things need to be said, things need to be brought up, and things need to be done. And I think 2025 is the year shit's going to happen. Okay? Bada bing, bada boom. On to the next. I think inconsistency is out. I think it's out. And I don't mean, because inconsistency, obviously, when you think about it, you're like, duh, it's out. Like, no one wants to be inconsistent. Yes, I understand that. But I think that the idea of doing something one time and it popping off is out. You cannot just like post and pray anymore. You cannot just start a business and pray that it's going to work. Like, you have to put the work and consistency behind it. And I think people are starting to realize that. And I think people are letting go of like that hustle culture that has been prevalent in so many years of like, wake up, do your morning routine, take a cold plunge, eat a 500 gram protein meal, and then go to work. And then like, no one's doing that shit anymore. I think people are being consistent in their own way, finding what works for them, but sticking consistent to where they're getting their goals. At least that's what me and my friends are doing. And I hope that you and your friends are doing that as well. But I really think that inconsistency is not going to work this year is because so many things are on the line, especially in our social climate. I think that it's the year where everyone is going to wake up and be like, okay, we got to get shit moving. We got to do what we want to do because it's not going to be here forever. And our freedom obviously comes at a really high price. So I think people are going to just go for the freaking moon and I think it's going to be great. Honestly, I think it's going to be great. I think people are going to take everything that's going on bad in our world and turn it into something good. I think, and I pray that that's what's going to happen. Moving on. This, well, I guess can tie into inconsistency because quitting is out. Quitting is no more. If you start something, finish it. That's all I'm going to say on that. Next, I can't go into that anymore because I've had it enough with myself. I quit so much of my life, and I realized at the tail end of last year and the beginning of this year that there's no time to waste. So quitting is out. See you later. Last on my list. And then I'm going to read some funny ins and outs of 2025 that I found on the internet that I just think are golden that I have to share with you guys. And then I'll let you go. I won't hold you hostage anymore. But the last thing that is out in 2025 is men. And yes, I'm going to say it. Not men as in like your brothers, your fathers, your good boyfriend, your good man. I mean like decentering men in your life. Like I feel like a lot of women put men in the center of their life, like literally the center of their life, their thoughts, their patterns, how they relate everything to the world, how they see the world. Like I think there are a lot of women out there, and like y'all, we've been conditioned to do this since the beginning of time. Like they have always been made to be the apex predator. Like, and it's just normal for us women to like have them in the forefront of our mind because that's what society has been like our whole lives. And I think there are a lot of women who are letting that get in the way of who they are and what they want in life. And I did it for so long. Like I cared about the opinion of a man for so long. Like the opinion of a man, like even, God, it makes me sad thinking about it. But growing up and like in college and in high school and just growing up as a woman, like I always put the opinion of a man at the forefront of my mind. Like, are they going to like this outfit? Are they going to like my hair? Are they going to like my makeup? Are they going to like that I'm a tomboy? Like, are they going to like X, Y, and Z? Like, and I would make that like the validation source for my happiness. And there was one day where I was just like, you know what? This isn't worth it. I'm super unhappy chasing the opinion of men. And so I'm just not going to do that anymore. And let me tell you guys, I've been single for a long time, but I've been happy for a long time. So yeah, Martha Stewart said it best, babe. You want to be happy for a year? Get a husband. You want to be happy for 10 years? Get a dog. You want to be happy for life? Get a garden. My girl knew what she was talking about. So I've just been gardening for the last couple years and I've been happy as a clam. Happy as a clam. But no, I think people need to decenter men in their life and everything will fall into place. And I think, and that's not saying you can't go out and have fun. Like there are people who have that balance where it's like they go out, they have fun, but it's not their sole priority. And it's not their sole purpose in life is to find a partner. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like that will come in due time when you've worked on yourself and the universe is like, okay, you're ready for your partner, because your partner who you spend your life with is supposed to last, and you want those things to last. And that takes time to build and to create. And it doesn't just, you can't do it. You cannot do it if you're unhealed. You can, but it takes a lot of fucking work. Like, why not just heal on your own? Your partner will heal on their own somewhere in the universe, and then y'all come together and it's like this, you know what I mean? Like, it's like this infusion of beautiful, healthy growth and love. And you know what I mean? Like, that's what it's supposed to be. IMO. But for real, I think men are out in 2025. We got to get rid of them. They all need vasectomies and they should be in cages. Anyways, that wasn't my last thing. I lied. The last thing on my list was maximalism. I think maximalism is out. I think it's out. As I sit on this couch with 5 pillows. Anyways, I think it's out. I think people are downsizing. One, because of our economy. But two, I think people are realizing that you don't need so much shit. You don't need so much stuff. And honestly, being minimal and having minimal things is so much cuter in my opinion. And like vintage pieces and homey pieces, I think is so much better than like the grandiose, like luxurious things in life. Don't get me wrong. I love designer shit. I love nice things. I love shoes. I have a shoe addiction, but you can still be a minimalist and like all of those things. I did look in my closet and I need to downsize myself. So if if maximalism is out in 2025, I need to take full advantage of that because I have some downsizing to do. I always think about like getting a 1-bedroom because I have a 2-bedroom and it's just too big for me, I think. And so I think I'm going to take that route as well in 2025. Hopefully downsize and get into a smaller, cuter space with like just my vintage pieces and the pieces that make me feel like me. But anyways, you guys, I think that is totally out in 2025 is maximalism. I think it's been overplayed. I think we've seen it with like the artists and designers on TikTok, like that whole group and that whole niche of just like maximalism to the core. I think that's going to be out in 2025 unless someone can find a tasteful way to do it. I've seen some girls on TikTok who can do it tastefully. And then I've seen it where it's like, girl, you're doing too much. Like you need to downsize. Like consumerism is at an all-time high. And I think people are realizing that. And I think they're going to go the more normal route. Like the more normal homes, normal cars, things like that. Like I think we're going in that route. That's just like what I see. But fingers fucking crossed. Fingers fucking crossed. Okay, honestly, I don't want to look up anything on the internet. I want to go and edit this and post this for you guys. So that's what I'm going to do. But I love you guys so much. Let me know if you guys have liked this version of the pod. I just wanted to do this quick before January got over, before everyone stopped saying New Year, Happy New Year's. But yeah, you guys, I was going to read stuff that I found on the internet, like funny ins and outs, but I just don't feel like doing that. And I'm really big on doing what I feel like doing this year. And I don't want to do that. So I love you guys so much. Thank you again for tuning in for another episode of Lonely But Loved, the pod. Again, I am your host, Deja. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe so you never miss when I upload because that just seems rude. It seems really rude that you would want to miss an upload. Like I post twice a week. Like why the fuck would you want to miss it? You know? You know what I mean? But I love you guys so much. And again, thank you for the support thus far. I really appreciate it. It's been a blast so far. It's been hectic, but it's been so much fun. And I hope to see you guys on the next one. This is your reminder, if no one's told you recently, I love you. I'll see you later. I'll see you later, alligator. I'll see you later. Looks so cute in this blue. I'm just going to start coming on here in a different blue top every time. How about that? Actually, I'm not going to do that because that's just ridiculous. Like, girl, get a life. I don't want to know. You're so conceited.